Yeah. So, hey, thanks for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. I know you're really busy getting ready for the Arnold.
Mhm.
So, how's your prep going?
Prep is really good. Super busy right now. My brother's actually getting married this weekend, so it kind of throws a little curveball into my prep. He's getting married in Las Vegas, so I'm a little worried about the travel, flying from Seattle to Las Vegas, just because you never know with planes. Like everyone's always sick, and it's just like a really kind of a bad time to be traveling. Like 2.5 weeks out, but I mean, my older brother's getting married, so I gotta go.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really avoid that. So,
Yeah,
are you like bringing your own food, things of that nature? Are you gonna try to like eat as best you can while you're there?
yeah. So I always bring my own food. Cook it in advance, and then I'll sneak it into restaurants or whatever. Uh, it's funny because my husband and I we go to like the Mariners baseball games, like the MLB, and here in Seattle, and they have like metal detector kind of thing you have to walk through, and they don't let you bring any food in. So I'll like shove like chicken breasts or like turkey patties like in my top or like in my pants pocket, and yeah, just walk in. So you got to do what you got to do, right, to stay on track.
Yeah, that I mean, I don't think I've ever heard anybody like do that before. That's pretty crazy. So,
Yeah,
but I mean, you got like you said, you got to do it because you'd hate to for something like that to ruin your prep. So, like you're what you said about 2 weeks out, right?
yeah, 2.5 weeks out, like
Two and a half
17
weeks out.
days. Yeah.
So do you usually like how are your nutrition based? Do you keep carbs in like through the entire prep? Do you take them out? Like how do you do that?
So this year, I've been with my coach Alexia Tuttle for like 4 years now, and we've done a lot of experimenting over the few years we've been together. And for the longest time, we were like super low carb always.
Hmm.
And then I started training with John Meadows this year, and the training has been excruciating, like really freaking hard. So you have to like feed the body, right? So we have implemented carbs a lot this prep. I've said kind of like on other podcasts and stuff, 2 3 weeks out you should be feeling like a zombie and dead, but I actually feel pretty good. Like I feel really energized because I am eating the carbs. And also, which was different for this prep, I was doing an intra workout, um, which I think really helped.
Like an intra workout shake? Is that
Not
or
more
meal?
like this. No, intra workout. I guess like a not pre workout, but the intra workout. It has like the carbs in it.
Oh, I see. I see what you mean. Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I was taking John Meadows' company, Granite Supplements, their
Hmm.
recovery, and it's got I think it's like 19 grams of carbs per scoop or something.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So on the you did really well, at the Olympia fitness competition. So you came in second, right? If I'm correct.
Yep.
So I mean that you looked great. Did you do the carbs in on the Olympia, or is this like the first competition where you're keeping them in?
They were like moderate there. Uh, we definitely like carved up the last like week with potato. Potato works really well for me. But with this prep, I've been eating lots of white potato, lots of cream of rice. Um, for whatever reason, sorry, I just got to turn this
No,
off.
that's fine. No worries.
For whatever reason, like as I've gotten older, I find that oats, sorry, my Canadian accent comes out.
Oh no, that's
Oats,
fine. That's fine.
they don't
Oats.
don't digest properly, and it really
Hmm.
like bloats my stomach. So we switched to like cream of rice, which I'm totally obsessed with now.
Do you think it's the fiber that's in the oats? I don't know. Cream of
Maybe.
rice, I'm sure it has fiber too. Maybe not to that degree, but
Yeah, and I think because it's like crushed down and it's
mm,
already kind of like digested, like almost like
mm.
baby food. It feels really good on the stomach, and it works a lot better for me.
Do you calculate like your weight? Do you keep up with your weight through your competition or through
Yeah.
your prep? I'm sorry. So like, what is your stage weight normally?
Um, so it varies. I mean, last or sorry, the Olympia, I think I was like 127 on stage, like manipulating water, like woke up 127. This morning I was 127. So, I mean, I think I'm going to be a lot lighter. I think
Yeah.
I'll probably be around like 120, honestly.
So you still have some weight to drop? Like that's
A little. I think it's more water. I feel like I'll probably start losing more like in my hamstring and butt area. But I think right now I'm like totally peeled. So
Mhm.
that's where it's going to come from, is my hamstrings and glutes.
So is this so part of the competition for you is a routine, right? This is going to be a new routine that you're coming out with, or is this something that we've seen before?
Yeah, new routine.
New
Yep.
routine for the year, right?
No, so the new routine is just for the Arnold,
Okay.
and then I'll do another routine for the Olympia, and then there's other shows that hopefully I'll get
Yeah.
invited to.
Okay. Yeah. That I mean, they're always entertaining. So that's why I was asking about that. Your coach, does he happen to be Russian? Is he Russian? Is
Um,
did you do?
it's a girl,
Oh,
Alexi.
is she? Oh, Alex. Yeah, she is Russian.
She's Greek,
Greek.
and
Okay,
then
I was just wondering because I thought the last name sounded Russian. That's why.
you know what? It's her married last name.
I see.
Her husband is Chris Tuttle. He's a 212 pro bodybuilder.
Okay,
Um,
okay. Probably not then. Yeah, yeah. Anyways, it just crossed my mind because I'm Russian and I was like, oh, I wonder if like they are too. But anyways, so your prep is going great. You're gonna go to the Arnold. Are you doing just those specific shows that you were talking about? Like some of them you said you want to be invited to, and then the Olympia, or is there like is there specific shows that you have planned for the
so,
year?
so I have the Arnold in Columbus, and then I have the Arnold in Australia. Um, and then after that, depending on how I do at those shows, I like to jump into a few figure shows. Um, there's one in North Dakota in April and one in Savannah, Georgia, which I might do. It all depends on how I place.
Right. So that's a perfect transition because actually I wanted to talk to you about. So I heard that you were competing in figure as well,
Yeah.
and so what's the plan with that? Are you allowed to compete in two divisions in the same show or no?
Yeah, so not in the same show. So it's funny because last year I did three figure shows. I placed eighth in my first one, second in my second one, and third in my second and second in my third. So
Right.
I got like, I think 20 something points for the Olympia,
Hmm.
which actually like qualified me to compete at the Olympia
Right.
and figure this year. But obviously I'm not going to do that because,
Right. You're much more competitive in fitness.
right,
you're clawing at the first place,
right.
in the Olympia. So going into the Arnold, are you like who are you competing with that was on that Olympia stage? Is there anyone that from the last Olympia that's going to be there besides you?
There's a couple girls from the Olympia that will be on the Arnold stage, but I like to think that every show I do is for me, and I have to bring a better Missy, not
Mhm.
worry about what other girls do. Of course, we're all friends, and we all talk on Instagram, and we have a good like camaraderie. But at the end of the day, like it's a it's an individual sport, and I can only worry about myself.
Right. Right.
So I
So I
don't.
mean, so and also like they're judging you based upon your past look too, right? A lot of times. So if you bring in a better look, then you'll place better. But for you, I mean, don't like really better would at the Arnold would be the win, and then at the Olympia would be the first place. There's not really much higher you could go besides go to first place. So
Right. And
yeah,
that's the one thing why I like fitness right now because, I'm 30, I'm getting older, and it's hard on your freaking body. So
right,
as I get, kind of start weaning my way out of fitness, I have figure to fall back on, which,
right,
I can still stay in the industry, still do my online coaching, still, be in the sport,
right.
which ultimately is what I want to do.
Right. I mean, I'm assuming you're saying that's hard on your body because of the routines, right? Do you
Right.
have do you have like a background in that? A lot of girls did gymnastics and so forth. Did you do something similar before getting into this industry?
Yeah, so I was a gymnast for like 8 years when I was younger, and then I switched to cheerleading. And cheerleading is, I'm such like a like introvert person.
Hmm.
Cheerleading is very, team oriented. You rely on your teammates and everything. And I don't know if it's just me, but I want to be. I have a small circle, and I don't let people in my brain trust. I got like my husband, my coach, um, Alexia, John, and it's just we're tight.
Hmm.
Um, and I think that's why I really flourish in fitness, because it's you have to put the work in, and if you don't put the work in, then someone might come up and smoke you. So it's all on you, kind of thing.
Yeah, a lot of bodybuilders and people in industries like that, even like combat sports and things of that nature, they're very much like individual, workhorses. Like that's the kind of I'm the same way. I like sports where it's all on you. So whether if you fail, it's on you. If you win, it's all on you as well. So but that
Yeah,
close knit community, I mean, that you've got is probably, I would assume, where this success comes from. Because sometimes when you let too many people in, you tend to water down the vibe, so to speak,
totally,
right? So,
totally.
so how long have you been in the industry, like in fitness industry,
So I started
competing? Yeah.
yeah, when I was like 17. I'm 30 now, so like 13 years of consistently at weights, at training, competing. Um, my first pro show was back in 2012, and I placed dead last. But you got to lose some to win some, and
You moved up for sure.
but yeah, it's all just learning experience and just trying to get better.
Hmm. Yeah. So how long do you think you have left, like in you, as far as the fitness side of it?
Um, I want to keep going until I can't. My husband and I, we got married last June.
Hmm.
So we've been married for like 8 months now. And I mean, maybe babies in the future, but right now he's super supportive of my career in fitness, and
Sure.
definitely wants to see me um, go as far as I can with it.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're gonna compete at the Arnold, and then how did you said you kind of started off like what age? At 17, you said,
17,
right?
yeah.
17. So what brought you into the industry? I mean, you said you did gymnastic, you did cheerleading. At what point did you decide to just go ahead and switch over to, the fitness industry?
So like in that time frame, YouTube was getting big, and Jay Cutler was all over YouTube, like his motivational videos, and my older brother was into bodybuilding. My dad always had like workout equipment downstairs in our basement, and we'd always see him like benching down there and everything. So fitness has always like been a part of my life. And then seeing those videos of Jay and Adela Garcia, I thought to myself, like, this is something I can do and I really want to try. So 2008, I did my first competition in Canada, and I was hooked ever since.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Do you ever plan on maybe trying out physique or anything like that? Or are you gonna stick to fitness and figure?
Yeah, I'll definitely stick to figure and fitness, just because it's a similar um, physique. There's not much difference, other
Right.
than figure has a little bit more glute and hamstring and the
Hmm.
tie-in area. But other than that, like, they're very similar.
So you're not interested in getting like putting on more size or anything like that? You would, yeah. Okay.
No.
That reluctant grin there. No.
Yeah. I mean, I respect every division. Those girls definitely put a lot of work in. And at this point in my life, it's not something that I'm willing to to do.
Sure, sure. So and as you were mentioning, I forgot what I was going to ask you. Oh yeah, about the online coaching
Mhm.
or that you do. Is it primarily, so you only do it online or do you do it in person as well?
I've started to branch in person. This is like my home gym.
Okay. Yeah, I see the machine in the background there.
Yeah, and we got some new equipment today, so I'm slowly branching into it. I think it's important to kind of give back to the fitness community, especially right now. With, I mean, I'm one of the younger people in the sport, but I definitely want to show that I'm an asset and show that I'm willing to like give knowledge. But yeah, I do have a pretty good, lucrative online coaching right now,
Hmm.
which, you know, I do training, nutrition. Oops, sorry. Training and nutrition for my online clients. Sorry.
It's fine. It's like you just touching my face.
Sorry.
No, so when you do the online training, is it mostly like lifestyle people that come to you, or is it competitors?
Yeah, I have a lot of lifestyle people actually just looking to, you know, learn how to eat properly. And certain women will want to know like what type of training I do. So I just try to make plans tailored to them, you know.
Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm.
So, um, what do you like? So, have you? One thing that I was talking to another competitor, and she's no longer competing. And one thing that she was saying was that the look, and she was in figure, and the look that you bring to the stage is not a look that most people would want. So it was harder for her to get clients. Did you feel like that's the struggle that you had, or not really?
Um, I mean, everyone has their own like opinion on
Hmm.
females with muscle, and you know, you get some nasty comments on YouTube, and
Yeah, you
Instagram is
can't
pretty
you can't
constant.
read those. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't read those. That's like one thing you should never do is like when you post something, don't read comments
Yeah.
because for every like one good one, there's a bunch of like douchebags, there.
Totally.
So,
Yeah. Um,
but you were saying you didn't see it like much of a struggle as far as getting clients, like lifestyle clients, things of that
no,
nature.
no, I feel like they just, you know, they see you're kind of like a product of your, like what you're selling training wise, right?
Hmm.
And I mean, I feel like a lot of women who come to me are looking to kind of pick my brain and see like why I look the way I do and what I eat and how I train. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't have any problems with that.
Yeah. You were saying that your training now is very intense. So can you kind of talk about that? Like what makes it so intense?
Sure. Okay. So like I said, I've been with John Meadows now, training with him for 18 weeks.
Hmm.
And the training split that he's had me on has been a push pull legs, and then push pull legs pump, and then Sundays are off.
Okay.
So, you know, we're hitting two body parts a week, and yeah, it's been crazy.
Okay. Cool. So I think I'm frozen. It looks
Yeah,
like.
you're
Can you?
frozen.
Wow. Great.
Wait,
Perfect.
are you back? Hold on.
Let's see. Let's see. I love technical difficulties. Let's see here. Let me try to switch to another camera.
Okay.
Uh, oh man. Why? Why? It's okay. Well, I'll just end up just doing the voice because I don't want to waste any of your time. So you said
Totally.
you're doing two times a day training in the same body parts, or are you like splitting them?
So it's sorry, two times a week.
Oh, two
So
times a week. Okay.
yeah. So like a push day would be like we'd have chest, tries, abs, calves. And then my pull days would be like back, buys, abs. And then leg day would be squatting, leg press,
Mhm.
stiff legs, like
Okay. So
Yeah.
so is this is this a training that you're doing only for like prep, or is this something that you do off season as well? Like keep it that intense?
Yeah, I definitely will keep it that intense now because I have some, we always have to improve and keep growing our physique. So I will keep it like that. But the past, well, since I was 17 years old, I've always done my own training and then got on with John this year because I needed to make some improvements.
What kind of improvements were you looking for?
It would be like more, I know with your back, you as you get older, you get that like mature muscle, but I really needed some more like depth to it. Um, so we really focused on back. And then my hamstring has always been like a kind of lagging part and the tie in area. But I feel like we friggin' hammered it this year. So I'm hoping that, the judges will see a difference on stage and, will reward me for that.
So mainly like you were lacking, you think in your back.
Yeah, the back
Okay.
shot for sure. And that's, people always say like that's how you win shows is from the back.
Hmm.
So it's like, damn it, I gotta figure
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, if that's truly the case, then that's definitely like not wouldn't genetically, if you're gifted with that, like you've got a advantage, but obviously, I mean, it's not just about genetics. I mean, you have to work hard to develop that as well.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking as far as this year is concerned with like the fitness industry? Is there like anybody really that you're looking out for, or as far as like competition for you? Obviously, you have the Olympia champ, but is there anyone else that's kind of like riding on, right behind you, or anything like that that you think of?
Um, uh, I mean, there's definitely, I think this year it's going to be the year that everyone brings their A game because, we don't have a defending Arnold champion there. Um, So I think everyone's going to be like on fire, which is good. I love competition and I think it's great. So I'm just ready to stand next to whoever the judges put me beside and just really show how hard I've worked.
So you fully expect to come home with the first place in this Arnold?
Um, I'm going to try. I'm going to, you know, I have 2.5 weeks to really like dial it in. And I think I just, that's all I can do is try my hardest and I am. So we'll see what happens.
When do you start water depleting? Like, is it a week out, or
No.
less than
Yeah, it's so usually we do like the meet and greet on Thursday,
that?
and that goes from like 7 to 10 or 7 to 9 p.m. or something like that. So I usually stop drinking water at like 7 p.m. And then with my next meals, I usually have like 2 ounces of water just to kind of get the food down. But it's always different. Like Alexia and I work together on that. So, we kind of see how my body's looking and if it needs more water, we give it. If not, then just kind of ride it out.
So is the goal, like, as far as like your leanness is concerned, is there like not a concern there? You always come in pretty lean. Is that easy for you?
Yeah, no, if I work my ass off, I'll be lean. um, so yeah, like I said it like a little while ago, the
Mhm.
first time I did, the time I did my first pro show and I lost, it was super humbling. It was like, man, I have so much work to do. And like, it's, you need to be like a good loser to be a good winner. And
Mhm.
you learn and experiment and do all these things. So yeah, I feel like over time I've gotten better at like judging my body and like what I need to do. And if, you got to put 110% in. And if you don't, then someone else will. And
Yeah.
like I said, you'll get smoked.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I'm just obviously I can only see like your shoulders and your arms, but I mean, you look like you're right there. I mean, almost right there. So it's, I don't think you're gonna bring anything less, if anything better for sure. So
Thank
whatever you're doing, it looks like it's working. So, but as far as like your businesses, your online coaching, like people that you work with, do you want to like give a plug? Like, how do that people contact you if they want to work with you?
Instagram is like probably the best way. Just like shoot me a DM. It's IFBB Missy Truscott. And yeah, I'll give you like the information that way. Yeah.
What about like any companies that you work with, like supplement companies, anything else on the horizon, anything like that?
No,
No.
I don't work with any supplement
Okay.
companies or any sponsors that way, but
Okay.
yeah.
So you're your own businesswoman. Take.
Yeah, you know what? I don't like people telling me what to do or how to act,
Mhm.
what to post. I just like doing my own thing. So
Sure, sure. Well, how many? I mean, how many times have we heard of? And I mean, it's a going theme of you're essentially just sponsoring the or taking pictures with the supplements, but that you're not really using. I mean, that's constantly the theme. So I think it gives you a level of respect when you don't need to or want to do that. So I
right.
think
And then
so
you
for
see
sure.
all those people jumping around different sponsorships,
Oh
different
yeah,
companies, and you're like, okay, obviously they're doing that for whatever, free product or like a check, but where's the credibility? Do you
right.
actually believe in the product or so?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're absolutely right. The other thing is I've noticed a lot is that a lot of people, competitors, jump coaches so much. Have you seen that? Is
Oh
that
yeah.
common? Is that common in fitness? I know it's common in like other divisions.
Yeah, it's definitely common in fitness. I mean, yeah, I couldn't imagine jumping around like that because it's like you have to like be consistent and you have to, yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you would think, like you said, you have such a tight knit group that, and you've been with them for, considerable amount of time that, like, I think you can create a product and then reproduce, that product. But if you keep jumping around, and sometimes I mean, you do need a change, I'm sure, but if you keep jumping around, it's almost like you're trying to reinvent the wheel every single time because the new coach is going to want to do something different, most likely. They're going to put their way into it. So
Totally. And like once that coach like knows your body and like, starts experimenting and knows like how to dial you in and what to do, like, man, you just got to ride that out and like keep working on things. Like my husband, he's a financial advisor at
mhm,
like a top firm, and he invests in the stock market and everything. So
right.
it's like you want to put trust in people who knows like what they're doing.
Hmm.
um
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, you don't want somebody just saying that they're a coach or like trying them out and then you find out, that they don't. But I mean, this is so much. I mean, it's good. It's a good comparison with your husband's job because, money is such a serious thing to lose if you put it into the wrong person's hands. Well, I mean, your body is you could really damage yourself if you put it in the wrong person's hands. Don't you agree?
right, totally, 100%. And you want like he's basically a coach with money, and then like I'm a coach for my clients,
Right.
like in the fitness aspect. So you definitely, and you can't be like a fitness competitor on your own, I don't think, or you can't do your own prep. You need someone there to like help you and to be like your second set of eyes, so you don't have to like worry about it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, are you a fairly like coachable person or do you always like well, I shouldn't say that. Don't I take
No,
that
no,
back. I,
I'll answer because I know what you're saying.
okay. All right.
I think I am very coachable. Like you tell me what to do and I'll do it. If
Mhm.
I do have a question, I'll ask like what's the reasoning behind that, but I won't not do it,
Right, right.
unless it's something I don't agree with, but we would have a conversation about that. But I've never, Alexia and I don't have that relationship. We're always on the same page.
Yeah.
But yeah, you should be able to go to your coach for anything and like ask like, why are we doing this? Or
Right.
can you explain this to me?
So is that how you coach? Like when people come to you for advice or clients, is that do you give them like the reasoning on why you're,
Of course.
adding this or doing that?
Yeah, it's super important because, you want to be able to explain to them and open that level of like trust.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah,
So super
yeah.
important.
Awesome. How often do you usually like check in with your clients? Is it depend on, on whether they're a competitor lifestyle, or how does
Yeah.
that work?
Yeah. Lifestyle is like once a week.
Hmm.
Just to like see how they're feeling, if we need to tweak
Sure.
nutrition plan, whatever. Competitors is depending on how far out from a show they are, every other day, every day, like it just all depends.
Mhm. Do you still take on clients while you're in your own prep?
Yeah.
You do. Oh, so I mean, that's tough. That can't be easy.
Yeah, but I mean, this is like right now, this is my full-time job. I'm so blessed to have a husband who believes in me 100%. And I was able to resign from my hospital job last year before the Olympia,
Mm.
which was sick because that was super stressful. So yeah, this like fitness,
Mhm.
coaching, training, all of this is like my full-time job. And honestly, I love it and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Oh yeah. Well, what did you do? If you don't mind me asking, what did you do at the hospital?
I was a phlebotomist, so I would draw people's blood
Uh-huh.
and then do all like the processing for it. So like with the centrifuge, separating it.
Sure, sure. So you're out of that field now. Now you're
Yeah.
only doing fitness. That's awesome. I mean, that's great. That's essentially what every fitness competitor, enthusiast wants to do, is they want to do what they love full time. So you got to do that. That's incredible.
Yeah. I did actually love the job and I loved, being around people and,
Mm.
you know, I did actually like it a lot, but it's just, the hours were a little rough,
Sure.
early mornings. It's stressful dealing with, sick people for the most part. Um, but yeah, I can always go back to it, once fitness is over if I need to.
Right, right. Well, yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm sure you don't forget how to stick people.
Right.
So anyways, so I appreciate your time. I know we didn't have a ton of time just because you're so busy, but I completely understand. I mean, you've got a lot going on. I will be at the Arnold, so maybe I'll run into you.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool. But again, I really appreciate it, and you have a great day, and hopefully that flight won't mess with you too much to Las
Yeah.
Vegas.
Thank you, Armin. I
All right,
appreciate it.
take
This is
care.
fun.